Just a couple of words about last season. The first one is that there was a tendency to emphasise the way in which, toward the end of the season, we were supposed to have struggled and stumbled. Let me just remind you that in the earlier part of the season, and every game counts, they're all 3 points, we swept the opposition aside, put the money in the bank, and rode out the rest of the season. Secondly, maybe we didn't score as many goals last season as we had in some previous seasons, but by winning all the games we must have conceded fewer goals, and that's a testament to the defence, who's represented here today by the new club captain, Steve McManus. Thirdly, I think we should all raise our voices, clap our hands to thank Gordon Strachan, Gary Pendy and the whole of the support team at Celtic Football Club. Finally, my own highlight of the season took a nanosecond. That was the distance between the ball crossing the line and hitting the back of the net against Kilmarnock, on the last day of the season by Nakamura. So I'm full of optimism for the season ahead, and let's get on with the game.
Thank you very much, Brian Flynn, our chairman. And we're going to invite Brian and Stephen McManus on the countdown to unfurl the Clydesdale Bank League Championship flag. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go! Thank you very much again. Please thank our presentation party this afternoon.
They are the champions. They are Celtic. Well, Mark Brown, who made his debut on the final day of last season, starts this season with Artur Boruc injured. Scott Brown and Massimo Donati form an exciting new partnership in midfield. Shunsuke Nakamura has only just returned to Scotland after the Asia Cup, so he's on the bench. Stephen Presley and Scott McDonald are suspended. Maciej Siraski gets the nod up front, and he scored twice here against Killy on the opening day of last season.
Okay, today's team's beginning.
Yeah, it's the usual 4-4-2 for the champions. No Presley, but McManus and Kennedy played together in pre-season and looked solid. And even without Nakamura, it's a fantastic midfield lineup with Hartley, Brown, Donati and McGeady, all completely different styles, but all with loads of imagination. Zaraski gets first bite at forming a partnership with Jan Fedorov Hesling, but he'd better watch out, there's a queue forming behind him.
Despite considerable Old Firm interest, Stephen Naismith starts the season with Kilmarnock. Gary Hay has recovered from an ankle injury, but Gary Locke and Gary Wales both picked up knocks in training and miss out. Former Celtic man David Fernandez is on the bench after making a quicker than expected recovery from cruciate ligament damage suffered against Celtic last October.
Yeah, Jim Jeffries lines up with an increasingly popular 4-4-1-1 formation. The back line's going to have their hands full with the movement of Celtic's attack, particularly in the full-back areas, I think. James Fowler, he played every minute of every game last season, and he'll be an important influence again in that midfield. And if Killy lead with points today, it'll be because Naismith, Johnston and Nish have been highly involved. It's up to them to make it happen.
Well, he could have been lining up for Celtic today, or he could have been lining up for Rangers yesterday, but Stephen Naismith has now withdrawn his transfer request. He could still be on his way over the course of the next few weeks, but for now he's getting down to the business of playing for Kilmarnock.
Yeah, I think Jim Jeffries will be absolutely delighted that he's still in a Kilmarnock jersey. But today, It's more or less all about the champions.
And let's soak up the atmosphere, which is always very special in this very special arena.
It's history, it's enough to make your heart grow sad. God bless them, we don't care if we win, lose or draw. Darn the hair we care, because we only know that there's going to be a show, and the Glasgow Celtic will be there. The best darn team in Scotland, and the figures all around. We support the Celtic as they are the finest in the land. We love them, we'll be there to give the boys a cheer when the red flag flies and the cheers are sung. When we know the Scottish Cup is coming home to rest in paradise.
Celtic clinched the title at Kilmarnock last season. They are the first team to stand in the way of their defence of the title. New captain for the new season, the youngest Celtic captain since Billy McNeil, Stephen McManus. A year ago, Celtic also played Kilmarnock here on the opening day and beat them comfortably 4-1. By the end of the season, they had claimed a league and cup double, as well as making Champions League progress. More of the same would be most welcome here, but also a bit more besides, because that's life at Celtic. For much of last season, though, they had the winning feeling, that title-winning feeling. This time around, they should face more of a challenge. The most expensive of the summer signings, Scott Brown, £4.4 million from Hibs. He's destined to become a firm favourite with these famously faithful followers of Celtic. Stephen Naismith has had, well, to say the least, a rather frustrating few weeks. But for now, he's staying at Kilmarnock, and you don't suppose he's got a point to prove today by any chance?
Of course he has, but there are other players as well in the park that have points to prove. Donati coming in for Celtic, alongside Brown, of course. They have formed a pretty decent central partnership over pre-season. It'll be interesting to see how they work throughout the whole SPL campaign.
Well, Kilmarnock have finished fifth in each of the last two seasons on a budget that barely extends even to a shoestring. A testament to the management skills of Jim Jeffries and Billy Brown. Rangers kicked off the new SPL season yesterday with a 3-0 win at Inverness Cally Thistle. Celtic, it's over to you to see what you can do.
I was just watching there with McManus taking his first competitive huddle. I wonder if that was one of the more nervous parts of this day for him. It's now out of the way anyway, now he can go on and just do his stuff and play football.
Vinegar of Hesselink won that, and here is Scott Brown and Vinegar of Hesselink again. And Hartley, who's yet to score for Celtic, fires over with less than 40 seconds on the clock.
It was just normal business again, getting Jan Vinegar of Hesselink into play. He lays off here, but you can see that Paul Hartley's just stretching, loses balance. It's going to be an important season for Paul Hartley. Can he find his way into the midfield at Celtic? Certainly when Nakamura comes back into it, it's going to be difficult for him, I think.
The defending champions have won the opening game of every season since 1989. Celtic will be hoping that tradition continues here. 6 years have passed since Kilmarnock beat them. Wilson, Zarowski, Donati, Naismith, Lee Naylor a rugby tackle there, and that will be a free kick in a very promising position for Kilmarnock.
That was good positive play from Naismith, and he gets his body in the way as well, makes it difficult for Naylor.
So Gary Hay with an early opportunity to whip this in and to test the champions. It's met by Hayes opposite captain McManus. Might drop here for Naismith, nearly. Scott Brown looking to get on his way, but a terrific challenge from Jamie Hamill. Now Alan Johnston. It's been raining quite heavily all day in Glasgow. Hay, Johnston, up against Wilson. Free kick Celtic. Two titles in 2 seasons, and a League Cup, and a Scottish Cup, and he did pretty well in the Champions League too. Gordon Strachan hoping to become the first Celtic manager since John Steen to win 3 successive titles. Wilson towards Vennegoor of Hesselink, and Hartley bursting into the box, but Fraser Wright cleared it. Kilmarnock have often suffered at the hands of the old firm, but they did beat Rangers at the end of last season. Can they now overcome their Celtic hoodoo? It'll be a big ask, especially here at Celtic Park.
Yeah, but I think they have to be positive, as I said earlier. They have proved that over the last few seasons, getting to the top 6 for Jim Jeffries is very important, and they've done that without beating the old firm, really. It's about beating the rest. Very consistent, Kilmarnock, over the last couple of seasons. Identical points, 55 points, 5th place. For the last 2 seasons, not bad for a club with, as Jim Jeffrey says, really poor resources.
David Lilly, who had a torrid time with injuries last season, takes this throw. Not much of a return to him from Naismith. He scored here on the opening day last season, Stephen Naismith, but it didn't count for much for Killie. Celtic comfortable 4-1 winners. Scott Brown. Wilson. Donati. Milan once paid £10 million for him, Celtic paid £3 million. It's held up by Vennegoor of Hesselink, and now Wilson. And Celtic corner off O'Leary.
Mark Wilson getting down that right-hand side as he likes to do. Very strong runner. He will overlap the midfield players. He likes doing that. Paul Hartley has actually started a little bit more central at times, just getting in behind the front two.
It's Hartley's corner. McManus. Scott Brown missed it. Lee Naylor is going to drill it back towards McGeady, but a bit too much on it.
Well, I think as always it's going to be important for Kilmarnock to keep it tight early on. The Ibrox of Celtic Park is very important. I think the 4-4-1-1 formation helps that. It means that Johnston can drop back off in the midfield and make it tight in there and difficult for Celtic.
Celtic wearing black armbands today following the death of the woman behind the man and the manager. Klopstein's widow Jean died on Thursday. Zurawski up against Ford. Now Wilson. Lee Naylor. Quick exchange with McGeady. Naylor's cross. Just over the head of Zaraski, and it's safely deflected by Alan Coe.
That's what will happen with Celtic. Both full-backs like to get forward. If Naylor gets anywhere near the box, he sends it in.
Zaraski encouraging McGeady. David Lilly trying to keep McGeady in check and failing. And Combe almost presented Hartley with a chance. A bright start from Celtic, but then that's exactly what their fans would have expected here on the opening weekend of the season. Wilson, Brown. It's a late lunge by Ryan O'Leary on Mark Wilson, and it's a yellow card for O'Leary already.
It was a bad tackle, you can see there, and yeah, it's a bit early to be handing out yellow cards, but the referee has a point.
O'Leary played in the last few games of last season and really impressed. His dad Pierce used to play for Celtic. Hartley seeking out Kennedy far post. Kennedy's been tripped by Nish.
Well, a big central defender showed good feet there. You see, from right to left, confused Nish.
Naylor's cross, Fenegor of Hesselink was onside, but it's gone back over towards McGeady. And this time he's run it out, but Celtic perhaps should have been in front.
Well, let's put that one down to early season rustiness. The ball comes in, he's not offside, and I think he is trying to square it there actually. I'd have fancied him to just have a go at that one himself, but he's nowhere near in the end.
Helped on by O'Leary. Alan Johnston latching onto this. Naismith and Nish making moves ahead of him. Hamill now for Lilly. Throw-in for Kilmarnock.
Yeah, Naismith's coming in for a little bit of stick from the Celtic fans.
Celtic will get a free kick now. You have to go back a long, long way to find Kilmarnock's last league victory at Celtic Park. It came in 1955. Ford dealing with Zaraski. Fowler helps it on. Naismith beat Naylor to it, but Kennedy pops it back. Ford to Johnston. Wilson ahead of Hay. Massimo Donati. Donati has taken Neil Lennon's number 18 shirt. Venegor and Hesselink chasing this, but Fraser Wright got to it first. Here's McGeady though. Donati has gone outside of him and he's going to use the Italian. Fowler keeping Donati occupied. Johnston, Hamill. Celtic are on the road for their next two SPL matches, to Falkirk and Aberdeen, where they should face testing times. Wilson. In towards Venegor of Hesselin. Brown. Held up by Hartley. The Celtic fans thought he should have had a free kick, but there wasn't much of a protest from Hartley. And Colin Nish might just be in here. Well, it just about carried back to Mark Brown from McManus.
Well, McManus almost got caught out there. It's a good ball over the top, but Nish was onto it.
Donati for Venegor of Hesselin. Ryan O'Leary up against him. Wilson.
It's early doors here, but you see that already. It's far too easy for Celtic to get the ball into Jan Venegor of Hesselink. He holds it up so well, it's going to be a problem for Kilmarnock this afternoon.
Offside against Zaraski.
I think important is going to try to stop the service into the big striker at Celtic, and that makes it hard for the Kilmarnock midfield. They have to work even harder to stop that, and also when they get on the ball and in possession, try and do something themselves in a positive manner. It's going to be a difficult afternoon for them.
McGeady. Naylor. All the centre halves. Oh, a terrible mistake from Alan Combe, which is most unlike him. Like I said, that he did got one of last season's big penalties. Here's Scott Brown. Donati struck it really well, but always going wide.
Yeah, he did well. This one was not easy. It's coming right across him. He has to wait, let it come, and then try and get good contact, which he did make. Couldn't hit the target though.
Celtic dominant in the opening quarter of an hour, no surprise there. Donati surging towards Alan Combe. And the Kilmarnock players came off worse there, Nish and Hay. Hamill with an excellent challenge on Brown. Now Nish. Johnston. David Lilly kicking the ball away in frustration. A reminder that later you can vote for your Clydesdale Bank Man of the Match. Call us or text us, and if you agree with Scott Booth's choice and you're picked out as the winner, you'll get a signed shirt from the Man of the Match himself. Tony Hamill's got a free kick.
There's a few of the players just trying to get to grips with the skiddy surface. A few passes just a little bit too far ahead of players. It's ideal for good football this afternoon on the surface though.
Here is Hamill, who Jim Jeffries speaks very highly of. Naylor for Zaraski. McGeady. Venegor of Hesselink. Donati out to Wilson. James Fowler screening that. McManus has lost out to Nish. Oh, Kilmarnock could be away. Only Kennedy back, and Naismith puts it through, and Johnston is onside. Has he got the legs to keep going? Oh, Celtic escape.
Well, if you have to look at a full-back getting back, and look at Mark Wilson. In the end, great defensive play from Celtic, but initially very poor. And you just know that Johnston hasn't got the pace to get right through here, but Wilson has the pace to get back. Great tackle from a young lad. But Celtic were nowhere to be seen in midfield. Both Donati, Hartley got caught further forward. Brown was out of it as well, and that made it very difficult.
Johnston finding some room again, and he's trying to put Nish in. Too much on it that time.
Yeah, and those are the areas. Already Alan Johnston's got on the ball, and he's making it difficult for Celtic. He's dropping off, and because both Hartley and Donati are forward thinkers, at times he's finding space.
Naismith, he's going to get a free kick surely. McGeady all over him, and Kilmarnock giving it a go at the moment at the home of the champions.
Things a little bit different now for Celtic without Neil Lennon. They have to think a little bit more about who's going to sit in there as a midfield player. They can't all afford to get caught going forward.
Gary Hay placing this. Scored his first goal for 5 years last season. Standing over it with Jamie Hamill. A hush around Celtic Park as Gary Hay goes for it. But he got the whistles from the majority inside this arena. Jim Jeffries was 5 years old the last time Kilmarnock won at Celtic Park. McGeady taking on Lilly, and he's got away from him, but Fraser Wright's going to slide in. In fact, the free kick's going to go McGeady's way.
Well, it's going to be a problem for Kilmarnock because McGeady is clearly quicker than Lilly. Second occasion now. The fullback is struggling to cope with him.
Donati. Well, they have plenty of time then, but sent it straight towards Fowler. Zurawski chasing the deflection, but Alan Combe quickly out. Donati. Naylor.
It's a pretty open match. Both teams going for it. Either side will be just sitting in. As you see here, players picking balls up. And loads of space.
Johnston now for Naismith. It's going to be a yellow card coming out here for Lee Naylor as he trips Naismith.
Well, if McGeady's getting the best of Lilly, then Naismith is with Naylor too.
Lee Naylor joins Ryan O'Leary in Craig Thompson's book. So another free kick for the Killie captain. Who can Gary Hay pick out? Nobody of any use yet. And Hartley charged down Hay then. Fowler. Nish. Johnston and Wilson go for it. Johnston has now picked out Hay, but it trickled away from him. And Hartley soon pounced. On by Donati for Zurawski. That's poor, he's giving it to Stephen Naismith. Naismith drilling wide, but Kilmarnock getting some glimpses of goal.
Yeah, this time it was Zurawski that offered up the chance to Naismith. It's another poor layback, really. And Naismith's always going to shoot in that position. He's just trying to keep it low and get skidding across the ground, but he's off target. As I say, the game is so open.
Sarafsky for Wilson. Venegor of Hesselink is the target. Naylor. Sarafsky. Foul. Maciej Sarafsky had his injury problems in the second half of last season. But he does have a happy habit of scoring against Kilmarnock, and he does have a decent overall scoring record for Celtic. Scott McDonald suspended today, though. You suspect he might have started had that not been the case. Gordon Strachan, though, does have a few strikers to choose from. Massimo Donati. Wilson. Clever from Venegor of Hesselink, let it go, but Simon Ford just tipped Sarafsky to it. Wilson. Giving Hay the run around for a short while. Brown. Donati. Hartley. He's getting busy. McGeady. Naylor's cross, easily cut out by Naismith. Here's McGeady. He'll have another try. Sarafsky and Venegor of Hesselink both in the mix, but nothing doing. Completing the long opening SPL weekend, it's the mouth-watering prospect of the Edinburgh Derby, Hearts against Hibs, tomorrow from 7 on Setanta Sports 1 at Tynecastle. Celtic looking for a 17th straight league victory over Kilmarnock. Rugby Park was where the title was won last season in dramatic circumstances, courtesy of Shinsuke Nakamura, who has been away at the Asia Cup with Japan. Only arrived back in Scotland on Friday. So only trained yesterday, and that's why he's on the bench today.
Yeah, it was funny to hear Gordon Strachan saying that he doesn't know half of the new guys that have come in. He'll be sitting there watching them and wondering where he's going to fit in, but I'm sure he could be squeezed into the side.
I think he might make it. The star of last season. Wilson. Venegor of Hesselink. Donati. Aidan McGeady trying to make room for a shot. Not going to take the long way around, and David Lilly has trapped him. I thought that's going to be a free kick because McGeady slid in a little late.
Yeah, Aidan McGeady, 5 goals in 46 games last season. I think that's the area that he needs to improve. Scoring goals will just take him to that higher level. He's already a top-class player, we all know that, but could do with a few more goals each season. An indication of the movement in midfield for Celtic is obviously McGeady's now just come across to the right-hand side and Brown on the left-hand side, and that's what Gordon Strachan certainly has in there. Plenty of movement, plenty of options.
Kennedy's free kick. And Zarowski setting it up here for Brown, who's kicking himself and not finding the target.
Oh, you wouldn't bet against this is going to be the way that Celtic score a first goal. A wee knockdown on a midfield supporting player. That time it was Scott Brown. He just snatches at it a little bit. You just see there, sclaffs it.
A superb signing for Celtic, Scott Brown. Such an influence in the Hibs team in recent seasons. But one of a few who have moved from that particular part of Edinburgh to the city of Glasgow. Donati and Brown will get to this. Oh, no, he won't.
So far, Jan Venneroff Hesling up front has looked absolute class. For me, much sharper than last season already. Equally as strong, of course. He looks to have worked very hard in pre-season.
A former teammate of yours, although he wouldn't have learned anything there, would he?
Oh, I don't know about that.
I do. Wilson. Massimo Donati. And Zarowski! Unable to get the better of Alan Combe.
Well, a big hole appeared in the Kilmarnock defence. It's a nice ball in from Donati. And you fancy Zarowski from here. It is the outside of his foot he's using. First touch, and then you can just see outside the right peg. He's going for the bottom left-hand corner. He can't get there.
Well, they've signalled to the bench that it's game over for Fowler, I think that is. So that will be a severe blow to Kilmarnock, because the man who played every minute of every game last season looks like he might have to go off.
See here, just Hartley with a straight leg that catches Fowler on the outside of the ankle, and as he lands, ow, that is a bad one.
What a shame for a key player in this Kilmarnock team. Hasn't actually missed a game since February 2005, would you believe?
Well, he is absolutely key for them. It's imperative they have a good midfield performance to get any sort of result here today, and I think more importantly, it's for how long that one could be. From the player's point of view, didn't look good.
Well, unfortunately it does look like a bad one for Fowler. And Jim Jeffries and Billy Brown having to rethink. It looks like Ryan Dodds will be the man to come on in place of Fowler.
Jeffries already has problems in midfield with injuries. Maybe Gary Locke would have played today in that midfield area if he'd been fit.
It's a serious injury for James Fowler, who is grimacing in agony. Such an important player for Jim Jeffries, and the Celtic fans applaud as well. As Fowler is stretchered off, and on in his place Ryan Dodds, who himself missed the last few months of last season after a hernia operation. Born in Scotland, brought up in Canada. He hasn't figured too much for Kilmarnock, but he's figuring now on the big stage that is Celtic Park.
Well, it's now Hamill and Dodds in there in the central area of midfield for Kilmarnock, and I think they have to stay organised and not get carried away with it. But Dodds is a good player.
Gary Hayes throw. Dodds gets his first touch. Hay. Scott Brown got a toe in. Simon Ford. Johnston. Hay takes over. Dodds makes himself available for Hay. And now Alan Johnston. Well, Tony Hamill was lurking on the edge of the area. Might have been a better option. Later you can vote for your man of the match by calling or texting us, and if you agree with Scott Booth's choice and you're picked out as the winner, you will get a signed shirt from the Clydesdale Bank man of the match.
You know, history does suggest that Killie do not have a chance here today, but on the basis of what I've seen in the first 33 minutes, they do.
Wilson up towards Zerafsky. Fraser Wright, not just enough on that. Killie's defence was strong towards the end of last season. Alan Combe hasn't conceded a goal in over 5 hours of SPL football. Naylor. On by Venegor of Hesseling for Zerafsky, who returns the compliment. And Donati now joining this attack, but it's interrupted by Ford. Naylor. A little glance from Venegor of Hesseling. Doesn't present problems for Kilmarnock. Nish. Partly trudging back from an offside position.
Well, at the moment the signs are good for Jim Jeffries in that Celtic's initial 30 minutes. They had a lot of attacking qualities in there and created some chances as well with Jan Venegor's. Obviously that one sticks out, but to this point Kilmarnock have weathered the storm.
Naismith for Lilly. Celtic throw. I mentioned that Kilmarnock haven't won at Celtic Park since 1955. They haven't beaten Celtic anywhere for over 6 years. Colin Nish had a look at Craig Thompson then.
He did. It was McManus, I think, that looked to have caught him. You have to see that one again.
Well, there certainly weren't going to be many cries of penalty from inside Celtic Park, but Colin Nish thought he was in with a chance.
And McManus's body language after it wasn't good either. It looked like he thought he had contacted Colin Nish. We'll see here. Well, does he get him or not? I think there is contact. Certainly he thought it was a penalty.
Kennedy's free kick towards Venegor of Hesseling. Scott Brown hoisting that high. Kilmarnock beat Rangers at Ibrox towards the end of last season. Their first win in 44 attempts against the Old Firm. They do have a wily manager in the longest serving boss in the SPL at the moment. Scott Brown for Machev Zerafsky. Zerafsky delivers and Venegor of Hesseling charges it on Ford.
That's lovely football. On the right hand side with Brown. Zerafsky does really well. Fantastic ball in. Ford does well too to put off Jan Venegor of Hesseling. You see here, Simon Ford just getting up, does enough.
Gordon Strachan preferring to watch from upstairs in the first half. Eager to make it 3 titles in 3 seasons. He's had it pretty easy in the previous 2 campaigns, though. Might not be quite so straightforward this time. O'Leary's throw, helped on by Nish, then by Johnston. Mark Brown in goal for Celtic after Borit injured his shoulder pre-season. So Brown, who made his debut in the final game of last season, starting the first one of this. Benegor of Hesselink for Zaraski. Scott Brown. Aidan McGeady.
Again, it was good play. It was a very congested penalty area, and McGeady comes inside. You know he's going to hit it. He really has to hit the target, though. He finds a yard or 2. He's trying to bend it in the back post, but doesn't get enough on it.
Well, his 5 goals last season all came in the second half of matches, so he was peaking a bit early there.
Those are the opportunities he finds himself in quite often. Coming in from that left-hand side onto his favoured right foot. You can see that 5 and 46 it isn't enough. I said earlier, he's a great player, he is, but I think he should contribute a little more in terms of goals.
Hamill gets a throw off Naylor.
I think what you can see as well is this Kilmarnock side is disciplined, very well organised through Billy Brown and Jim Jeffries, and all the players of course know each other. They've been in the side for a while now.
Donati for Zaraski. Donati having a look around. First port of call will be Mark Wilson. Scott Brown's hugging the touchline just here. Donati. Naylor. Brown. Up against Hamill, who is certainly game for the duel.
Oh, he's played well against Brown. You can see a little bit of eye contact there. Scott Brown, yep, still looking. Yeah, I'm still looking.
I don't think Jamie Hamill's too fazed by it, to be honest. John Kennedy is taking on all comers, and that's going to drift away from McGeady.
You can see there Scott Brown, Paul Hartley, Zarafsky, Fennegroff Hessling, all in about 10-15 yards of space. It's too congested at times, and it's making it difficult to break through that Kilmarnock defence.
Inside the final 5 minutes of the first half, and Kilmarnock content with the way their first fixture of the season has gone. Helped on by Nish and Johnston. Jostling with Kennedy. McGeady. Manus gifting Kilmarnock a throw. Naylor was wrong-footed by it.
It's a little loss of concentration there.
Lily's long throw. Last time Mark Brown came up against Kilmarnock was when he was at Inverness in a game that Killie won 4-3. Brown. Benegor of Hesselink has got Wilson supporting. Kennedy. Offside. Flag up against Jan Benigor of Hessen.
And Billy Brown is clapping his hands down on the bench there because he's telling his players to get out. He doesn't want them to sit in too deep. So that's ideal for Jan Vennegoor and for Zurawski to then get the ball played into their feet, hold it up and wait for the support. He's telling them get out, push up.
Kennedy strong. Manus will have to challenge with this. Naismith did well to flip that on. But here's Lee Naylor. Johnston. Lilly. Hamill. A slice. And Craig Thompson just having a word with someone here. Looks like McGeady and Naismith just given a warning. Kilmarnock not really keeping an eye on Jan Vennegoor of Hesselink there. Donati now for Wilson. Wilson's going to have a run at Gary Hay. Kennedy. Cleared by Hamill. Colin Nish is on his own. And Manus keeping a watchful eye.
I think that Celtic will be looking to try and get that goal, but at the moment it looks like it's going to go 0-0 at half-time. That'll be good play from Kilmarnock because that's exactly what they're looking for.
He's going to get a free kick here. Naismith nibbling at McGeady again, and Celtic might fancy doing something with this. The last minute of the first half. Will Kilmarnock see it through to half-time? Hartley floats it in, and Kennedy, well, somehow he fired over.
Well, it turned out to be a real chance. Kennedy goes up and the ball just drops for him. He can't get over it, that's the problem. He's leaning back a little bit. Falls to his left foot, you can just see there. It's always going up.
Well, his only goal for Celtic came almost 4 years ago, but that's not his fault. He has been sidelined, of course, for 3 years after a succession of knee operations. Great to see Kennedy back playing. Fraser Wright has given Vennegoor and Hesselink hope here. And a handball shout from the big Dutchman. But Craig Thompson not interested in Kilmarnock with Naismith. And he's been nobbled by Donati, and that's going to be a free kick, but what about a penalty shout?
Well, it was a strong shout. Jan Vennegoor using his muscles here. Not really sure exactly where that hits. Let's see. As it comes back up. Well, you can see it definitely touched his hand there, I think. His forearm. Well, that's one each now, because Nish had a claim.
2 minutes of stoppage time in this first half. Kennedy in charge. And Scott Brown aiming to get Celtic going up the other end quickly. Wilson. Dobbs won that. Donati has gone past O'Leary, but Gary Hay secures a throw. Celtic. Last chance, maybe, to open the scoring before the break. Jamie Hamill is giving his all in there, though, up against Scott Brown. Zurawski. Wilson. It's half-time. Jim Jeffries lost the services of the industrious James Fowler, stretched it off with a bad injury. Although John Kennedy fired over towards the end of the half there, Killy have kept the champions in check and offered a bit themselves as well. Half-time, Celtic 0, Kilmarnock 0.
Looking for his team to take some chances. Back to Scott, back to you.
Thank you, Rob. Well, Celtic haven't lost an opening home game of the season since 1950. Kilmarnock have had their moments here, though, and Celtic will be keen to score an early second-half goal to get this famous ground buzzing. Zurawski nearly sneaking in. James Fowler, by the way, has been taken to hospital for an X-ray on his ankle after being stretchered off in the first half. Scott Brown. Wilson's cross. Naismith up to Nish. Naismith again. Brian Dodds came on for the injured Fowler. Here he is. But it was always whistling wide. Jim Jeffries has steered Kilmarnock into 5th place with the help of Billy Brown in both of the last 2 seasons. Against all odds, really. He's run that out.
Yeah, and certain things must happen when a visiting team come to Celtic Park or Ibrox. I mean, they have to be able to hold it up. That's the striker's priority, and have to also keep possession in midfield. Defend well, of course, not going to be too many chances. And so far, that's exactly what Kilmarnock have been able to do. Can't forget to try and play as well once they do get some possession. That's what they've done through Johnston and Naismith. They do try and get forward.
McGeady. Zurawski for Venegor of Hesselink. Hartley now for Wilson. Scott Brown. Hartley! Forcing Alan Cohn to tip it over. Hartley looking for his first Celtic goal.
Well, this is more like Paul Hartley. Nice ball in from Brown, but he arrives late. At times in the first half he was up in the attacking area, I think, a bit too quickly for him. Much better when he arrives late.
Scott Brown given a standing ovation as he went to take the corner. The corner's not bad either, and Kennedy is there. But Zurawski unable to hook it back.
Alan Cohn again showing why Kilmarnock need him so much. He's an experienced campaigner now. He is good to be called on when he's not had too much to do. Keeps his concentration.
Nish. Gary Hay seems to be struggling. Well, he's had an ankle injury. Well, he was clutching over up there by the look of it.
Yeah, I think that's his hamstring. A few of those myself, so now that feels.
Well, having lost
your rub back.
Having lost James Fowler in the first half to injury, Gary Hay's going to have to come off now.
Well, I think it might be a little bit too soon for Fernandez, but it would be nice to see Fernandez come back. That's no chance for him. No, he's shaking his head.
Jim Jeffries losing two of his longest serving and influential players in Gary Hay and James Fowler. That's a bitter blow, not only in this game, but maybe for the weeks ahead, because obviously Kilmarnock don't have the biggest of squads. Willie Gibson is going to come on for Gary Hay in a moment, but here is Lee Naylor. Over the head of McGeady, and away for a corner by Simon Ford. Kilmarnock desperate to make that change before the corner, and they will manage to do so. Gary Hay off with a, what looked like a hamstring pull. Comes Willie Gibson, who arrived from Queen of the South during the January transfer window. It's his birthday tomorrow. Game over for Gary Hay. Hartley's corner, and Donati's header straight at Cone.
Yeah, it's a good ball in, it's got real pace in it, and a clever little flick from Donati. He can't get it wide of Combe though. Yeah, when you look at Jim Jeffries' squad and you look at what he's done in the pre-season, only one player in and 5 players out, and that's already a thin squad that he has. Really is a shoestring budget.
He's only got one more change available to him today, now that he's had to bring on Dodds and Gibson in place of the injured Fowler and Hay. Scott Brown. Sarafsky's got a chase on. Looks like he'll just make it. Fraser Wright didn't deal with it. And Venegor and Hesselink looming, but the goal kick's been given and Celtic can't believe that.
Well, I suppose at that end, we can't believe it either. That's why it was just booted out. Fraser Wright. Jan Venegor Hesselink saw that, but
Shunsuke Nakamura warming up, been away at the Asia Cup with Japan. That's why he's on the bench. Venegor and Hesselink, he should have had a corner then, no doubt about that. It's not how the assistant referee Martin Cryans saw it from his angle. Donati. Sarafsky, well, that's a strange one. What was he doing, Sarafsky? Johnston for Nish. And Sarafsky rather relieved that McManus bailed him out.
yeah, it was a rush of blood. Nice little ball up to Colin Nish though.
Given away again by Donati this time, and Johnston gets a free kick off McGeady, who managed to get a foot on the ball, but Craig Thompson wasn't convinced.
Very strong play from Johnston.
Dodds with the free kick. Fraser Wright having a go at it. Colin Nish. And Simon Ford! What a chance missed by Ford. Kilmarnock could have stunned Celtic Park then.
Oh dear. This is a very bad one to miss. Finds himself completely unmarked. I think it must be easier to score from there. Can't get any power in it. It's going up all the time. Terrible miss. It's a real chance for Kilmarnock.
The sort of chance you simply have to take when you are up against the Old Firm.
I'm pretty sure Jim Jeffries will see that. It's the best chance they've had. It certainly has been. Just sort of Shows exactly what the boys were saying in the studio at half-time, that could be the one area where Celtic have struggled a bit today is in defence. They were all standing there, that's for sure.
Jim Jeffries has been in charge of Kilmarnock for 5.5 years, but only managed his first win against the Old Firm at the end of last season when they beat Rangers. His last victory as a manager over Celtic came when he was in charge of Hearts over 7 years ago. Mind you, Kilmarnock do tend to beat everyone else. They've had a terrific couple of seasons, really. McGeady. Benegor of Hesseling sets it up for Naylor. And Zaraski, great save from Alan Combe. And then Zaraski is poked in wide.
Oh, what a save. Alan Combe. That's what it's about for a goalkeeper. He's not had too much to do. Absolutely brilliant save, a reaction save from Zaraski, and he gets a second bite at it, but he can't get that one on target. Great save from Alan Combe.
An awful follow-up there from Zaraski. Frustrating his manager, no doubt.
Yeah, he just snatched at it. Does look to be a little bit worried about his goal scoring at the moment. Lacking a little bit in confidence, I think.
Gibson. He's taken the place of Gary Hay, and he's having a run at Mark Wilson. Oh, he's got it across to Nish! Another chance goes begging for Kilmarnock. Colin Nish this time.
It's great play down the left-hand side. When the ball comes in, look at this run from Nish across. Defender, I think it's Kennedy's going to cross. It's a lovely ball in. Just asking for a striker to go and attack it. And Nish's unlucky.
Naylor. Zaraski has let that one bobble out, and the Celtic fans showing their displeasure. Kilmarnock have had a couple of excellent opportunities to open the scoring. Not taken by Ford or by Nish. But Killy growing in confidence. They've given a good display here so far. But then many times last season we saw Celtic dig out a result or two. It looks like Chris Killen might be coming on in the quest for a goal. Benegor of Hesseling has got a corner off Fraser Wright. Kilmarnock failed to take their chances in the last few minutes. Can Celtic take one here? Hartley sends it across. Manus not allowed to get near it. Goal kick. And he got near it, but wasn't able to do anything with it.
No, it's a ball played in the back post area. It's Fraser Wright that gets up really well with him, though.
Kenny Miller also on the Celtic bench, but it looks like Chris Killen will be coming on ahead of him. Well, Gordon Strachan has plenty of options available to him in the striking department, and Killen had scored 15 goals last season before injury curtailed the campaign halfway through. Of course, they also have Shunsuke Nakamura warming up as well, and even though he only flew back in to Scotland on Friday, I'm sure we might see him soon. Needs must, really. Celtic trying to find a way to go against a stubborn Kilmarnock, who are having a few chances themselves. Nakamura is going to be coming on. Here is Nish. O'Leary making quite a run. So Gordon Strachan has seen enough as we head towards the hour mark. Double change imminent with Killen and Nakamura waiting in the wings.
Yeah, Killen and Nakamura are getting their orders down the bench. Exactly what they have to do when they come on. Pretty sure they'll know themselves.
Johnston now for Nish, offside. Flags up against Colin Nish. Chris Killen excelled for Hibs in the first half of last season. Strachan just having words with his assistant Gary Pendry before those two new arrivals on the pitch, Killen and Nakamura. Wilson. Celtic not getting much of a look in at the moment. Johnston. O'Leary. Now Nish. Naismith in the middle. Not many others there at the moment, although Hamill has got himself in the box. Johnston. He was trying to get a corner off Wilson, but it didn't work out that way, and Scott Brown can seek out Venegor of Hesseling. Fraser Wright able to guide it back to Coe.
Alan Johnston's had a good game today. Certainly found himself in areas with lots of space, and he's good in the ball. It takes a clever player to play in between the lines, and he's certainly that.
Half an hour to go. So far so good for Kilmarnock. The champions enduring a frustrating start to the SPL season, but never underestimate their power to dig out a result in these circumstances. They did it so many times last season, including, of course, when they won the title at Kilmarnock with Nakamura's injury time free kick. Kilmarnock having a good spell though. Naismith and Nish chasing this, and Mark Brown out sharp. Nish is okay. Zaraski guilty of a big miss for Celtic. Good well for him coming off.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. He's a little bit tired now, a little bit jaded as well after a couple of misses.
Donati for Naylor, who's ridden the challenge of Naismith. Naylor's cross, Comas come for it. Not too convincing that time, but Gibson can bring it away.
Well, he was lucky on that occasion, he flapped at that one.
Well, it is going to be Zaraski coming off, and so too is Donati, so that Celtic can make this double change.
Substitution for Celtic coming off is number 7.
Zaraski is going to be replaced by Chris Killen, and Massimo Donati is going to make way for the arrival of the man whose goal against Kilmarnock in April clinched the title for Celtic. Shunsuke Nakamura will be with us once Donati has realised that he is going off. There's some confusion down there, but Donati's definitely coming off. Here comes Nakamura, and if anybody can swing this game in Celtic's favour, it is the oh-so-popular man from Japan, Shunsuke Nakamura.
Well, you can hear what they think.
Venegor of Hesseling looking for a piece of the action, but Simon Ford did well. Wilson. Nakamura.
Nakamura's just gone to the right-hand side, McGeady stays left. That means Paul Hartley pushes in more centrally in midfield. Of course, it's Killen and Jan Finnerworth Heston up front. Two big lads up there.
Nakamura, going to be a free kick for handball. Here's Scott Brown though. Jamie Hamill losing out to Scott Brown, and it's been quite a tussle between those two. McGeady now for Nakamura. Wilson. Chris Killen just on, but closely watched by Lillian Ford. You can vote for your man of the match later by calling or texting us, and if you agree with Scott Booth's choice and you're picked out as the winner, you'll get a signed shirt from the Clydesdale Bank man of the match.
And just how well have that back four of Kilmarnock done today. I'm sure that Jim Jeffries will be well proud of them. In fact, probably all of them. His game plan at the moment has gone perfectly well. That would have been stopped Celtic scoring. Of course, it's been a bit more than that. They've had their own chances as well.
Yes, Kilmarnock coping admirably despite losing James Fowler and Gary Hay to injuries. But Celtic know how to eke out a result one way or another, and there is plenty of time for them to do just that. And Kilmarnock know all about that, of course, after that last gasp title clinching goal at Rugby Park in April. McGeady. He's going to get a free kick, Edin McGeady.
Yeah, he just caught. And enter Shinsky Nakamura. Well, I wouldn't put it past him, Ian.
Certainly wouldn't. Last time they faced one of his free kicks, he won the title.
I don't think he'll ever see again. I think it's a little bit too far out for him.
Want to bet? Kilmarnock know where he's coming from. They know all too well. They thought about putting a man on the post. Nakamura! Wide this time. There was no repeat of that title clincher.
Well, Naismith did go back on the post for a while. Then Nakamura tried to put it in the hole that was left when he vacated that position, but he couldn't get it down. He's got enough pace in it though. It wasn't to be.
There'll be a few more of those free kicks over the next 10 months.
I think he was too far out.
Fraser Wright up against Killen. Naismith trying to shake off McGeady. McGeady's caught him late there. He'll be lucky to escape a yellow card here. He won't.
Absolutely. That's been rumbling all game, that one.
Edin McGeady joins Lee Naylor in the book, and also Ryan O'Leary of Killy.
Naismith plays the ball through, and of course McGeady just too late.
It's been an excellent opening day display from Kilmarnock. Dodds with the free kick, and there's been a bit of pushing and shoving going on, and as a result looks like Nish has got the yellow card.
see why he gets that yellow card. You can see there. He's just pushing, but I don't really see why that should be a yellow card.
Kilmarnock conceding a corner. Celtic not hanging around in their efforts to get it upfield. And now they have Nakamura to deliver. Nakamura and Killen have darted across to the near post. The two subs nearly combining, and a goal kick has been given. And Celtic have had one or two of these going against them.
Well, I think that one's even more clear than the first one.
Not quite sure what Craig Thompson saw, but it should have been another corner. The second time Celtic have been denied in this second half on that front. "20 minutes to go, still 0-0. But Celtic have never been averse to scoring a late goal or two. Naylor's throw, on by Vennegoor of Hesseling for Killen. And now Scott Brown. Wilson. Nakamura will have to settle for a throw off O'Leary. Fraser Wright will deal with that. Kilmarnock standing firm, standing tall and walking tall in Glasgow's East End at the moment. But Celtic will plug away. Wilson. Gibson showing some desire.
Well, 3/4 of the games that Celtic won last season were won by just one goal. We wouldn't put it past that happening again.
Wilson's cross, Killen in there. Vennegoor and Hesseling was right behind him in the queue. But Kilmarnock are dealing with everything that comes their way.
Yeah, but it's a little bit one-dimensional at the moment from Celtic. The two big lads in there, Killen and Vennegoor of Hesseling. They're just flinging balls in.
Vennegoor and Hesseling helped it on. Chris Killen won't test Alan Combe too much with that. Well, he ended last season with a run of clean sheets, Alan Combe. Can he collect another one here at Celtic Park? Nish. Rangers coasted to an opening day victory at Inverness yesterday. Celtic are finding it tough going here.
The fans are getting a little bit frustrated now. And that's what it's been for Celtic, I think. A frustrating afternoon. That's what you have to do from Jim Jeffries' men's point of view. You have to come here and you have to frustrate Celtic.
Killen knocked it on to Nakamura. Well, brand new pitch, but you can still claim a bubble, I guess.
Well, we're not seeing quite as many runs forward from Paul Hartley and from Scott Brown now. You can see Gordon Strachan urging them on.
Well, it's almost 5 years since Kilmarnock took even a point off Celtic, and 9 years since they took a point here at Celtic Park. Plenty of time, mind you, for that to change, as we saw so often with Celtic last season. But it's Killy's turn to ask questions here. Lily's long throw, Nish with a flick on, Naismith and the sandwich. The opening weekend of the SPL season, and we may well have saved the best till last. The Edinburgh Derby from 7 on Setanta Sports 1 tomorrow. Killen. Nakamura. Here's Hartley. Now Killen. The handball shout was merely from the fans, who were getting a tad worried. Definite handball there, mind you, from Stephen Naismith. A quarter of an hour to go. Celtic hoping for a goal. Nakamura whips it in. It's going to spin away for a goal kick.
Well, that kind of sums it up, that one. Great ball in from Nakamura. Just begging for someone to get on the end of it. It's going right through. About 9 players or so there. No one can get on it.
Celtic firing blanks against a resilient Kilmarnock side who created chances of their own. They will feel that they deserve to leave Celtic Park with something today, Kilmarnock.
Well, up to this point, they definitely do. 76 minutes gone. Things can change quickly in football.
Hamill. Naismith chasing this, McManus is going with him. Naismith is on his own. Oh, he's going to get a free kick, is he? No. Craig Thompson merely suggesting that Naismith should get up on his feet.
Well, all you have to say is that simulation or not. If he doesn't feel it's a free kick, there was no reason for Naismith to go down. See, there was a wee tug there, but he did go down a little bit late.
Wilson, Brown. Nakamura, stopped by Gibson. McGeady did well. Dodds getting stuck in with McGeady. And the Celtic fans making a noise now, demanding a goal from their champions. Naylor, aimed towards Killen, but Kilmarnock crowding him out. Poor clearance from Gibson gives Wilson a chance. McGeady. He'll bring Naylor into the equation. Stephen Naismith slides in, and that will be a Kilmarnock throw.
Well, again, yeah, it's a little bit too congested in there for Celtic.
Naismith has got a yellow card for that earlier challenge in the middle of the field. That's why he's been booked. He didn't get a yellow card for that. It was an earlier challenge in the middle. Johnston. Naismith. He's been sent tumbling by Lee Naylor, who's on a yellow card and has to be very, very careful.
He's very, very lucky. Just nowhere near the ball, really. Just takes Naismith from the back. You see, his left leg went right across the back of Naismith.
Naylor surviving. Dodds free kick. Everyone went up for it and everyone missed it. Kilmarnock maybe about to bring on David Fernandez for the closing stages. He has made a remarkably quick recovery from the cruciate ligament injury that he suffered against Celtic last October. Former Celtic player as well, of course. And the man who made the challenge on him in that game is on the Celtic bench today, Gary Caldwell. Chasing this. Fraser Wright, has he got enough on it? He has. Stephen Naismith got a yellow card for that challenge on Aidan McGeady. Brown leaves it for Wilson. Nakamura. We're inside the last 10 minutes, still no way through for Celtic yet. And it would be cruel on Kilmarnock if they were to lose here, but then they've suffered that feeling against the old firm a few times over the years, and against Celtic, of course, last April when the title was won in the dying seconds at Rugby Park. Nakamura swivelling, but doesn't get a free kick. Here is Hartley. Nakamura takes over, now he's going to get a free kick. A free kick that he will almost certainly fancy. Long way out again, but this man is capable, very capable. Similar position to where he was at Rugby Park back in April. Nakamura tries a different tack this time. Chris Killen in there. Corner kick.
Well, that was clever, it almost came off. Everyone thought he was going to shoot. He went for one of the big guys, this time Chris Killen.
Celtic 6-0 up on corners. Nakamura delivers, and again is admirably defended by Kilmarnock, and Colin Nish back helping out his defence that time. Lee Naylor's long throw, helped on by Vennegoor of Hesseling. Alan Johnston, who's about to be replaced by David Fernandez. Nish up against McManus, but the new Celtic captain untroubled. Wasn't happy with the challenge actually from Nish. And now he's got armband problems. Well, I'm sure even the Celtic fans will applaud the arrival of David Fernandez, who's replacing Alan Johnston here. Fernandez was expected to be out till about Christmas, but he's made a remarkable recovery from the cruciate ligament damage suffered against Celtic last October. Now, wouldn't it be a story if he was to have a say here in the closing stages against his former club?
Yeah, it's great to see him back. He's gone through 4 operations to get here, but he's done it very quickly. It would be great to see him have an effect on this match, being out so long. He'll be desperate to do so.
The champions are running out of time, but they were running out of time quite a lot last season and still got where they wanted to go. Naylor. Stopped by Simon Ford, although not particularly effectively. Fernandez now for Dodds. been a magnificent effort this from Kilmarnock. They lost James Fowler, stretchered off in the first half and taken to hospital for x-rays on his ankle. And they lost Gary Hay at the start of the second half. But they've given an excellent account of themselves. But you don't always get what you deserve in this game, especially against Celtic. Nakamura, very decent. Paul McGeady. He's got past Gibson, but O'Leary blocks it. Corner though, and the Celtic fans crank up the noise.
Again, they can't find a way through. That great defence today from Kilmarnock. But just one good delivery from Nakamura, and that could be it.
Here it comes from Nakamura. It is a good delivery, but again Kilmarnock wary of any threat and defending doggedly.
Yeah, Lily Ford, Fraser Wright, immaculate in there, also Leary as well at left back. It's a great ball in. Look at many players from Kilmarnock challenge against the big guys of Celtic. They've done that all afternoon, very successfully.
Kilmarnock hoping to start this season how they ended last, by keeping a clean sheet. Naylor. Oh, that is inviting though, and Simon Ford got there first, but Combs under pressure. He takes it. Still no goal for Celtic. And your last chance now to vote for your Clydesdale Bank Man of the Match. Call or text us. If you agree with Scott's choice and you're picked out as the winner, you'll get a signed shirt from the Man of the Match. Hooked on by Nish. Fernandez in the hunt, but he's fouled Kennedy. Next week, Kilmarnock face Dundee United in a Monday night match on Setanta. Celtic up against the league leaders. Walker. Nakamura, he's got space and you don't want to give him that. Here is Chris Killen. And Simon Ford cuts across him. Here is McGeady though. Dodds takes over. And now Gibson. Still going, and he's been very crudely taken out, and there's going to be a card coming the way of Kennedy.
That was just great play. He was up against three there, and he got past them all. Gibson, nutmeg on Brown, and then Kennedy thinks, okay, that's as far as you go.
No, he's not getting much sympathy from the Celtic fans, but he took a right old whack there, Willie Gibson. Kilmarnock, with 2 minutes left on the clock, have the chance to snatch a remarkable victory here.
You can see what Jim Jeffries thinks about it.
Dodds with the free kick. Here's Fraser Wright. Could be a breakout. Nakamura. Kilmarnock desperate to get bodies back. Nakamura has been stopped in his tracks unceremoniously and unfairly. Free kick Celtic.
Yeah, he was looking for someone to offload to with a bit of pace. He couldn't quite do that.
It's coming to the sort of time where Celtic normally win matches. Scott Brown's free kick. Vennegoor of Hesselink. Corner is the outcome there. It's tense, it's Nakamura's corner, and it's bounced off Ford for another one. And a thrilling end to this opening weekend fixture.
Oh yeah, again a great ball and almost could have gone anywhere really.
The 90 minutes are almost up. Another corner. Nakamura tries again, Ford meets it again. Naylor challenges with Naismith. And Kilmarnock ready to break out as we head into stoppage time. And there's going to be 3 minutes added on. And Naismith is going to latch onto this. Nish desperately try and get into the box. Naismith had to hold it up, he wasn't quite there. Heading for the corner.
Well, Naismith did the right thing, holding on to it, keeping possession, running that clock down as well. He's given everything again for Kilmarnock this afternoon.
Lily's throw. A couple more minutes left. Another Killy throw. Fernandez. What a lift this will give Kilmarnock if they do get a result here.
Well, they deserve it. They played very well in a real team performance. Gordon Strachan spoke about that before the match, about Celtic team performance to get the title last year. Well, I'm pretty sure that he'll see that from Kilmarnock today. And certainly Jim Jeffries and Billy Brown will.
Dodds. Shrugging off Nakamura. Not now though. Nakamura linking up with Wilson. But Dodds has been tenacious in the tackle. Celtic are going to get a free kick. But they've got just over a minute to win their opening game of the SPL season. At this point at Rugby Park in April that they won the title. So don't rule out a winner here. Manus goes forward, flicked on by Vennegoor and Hesselink, and dug out by Fraser Wright. Celtic desperate for a winner. Simon Ford there again. Colossal defensive display from Kilmarnock, but they've offered a lot at the other end as well. Wilson's cross though, and Ford is there to meet it again. It certainly is backs to the wall now for Killy. Naylor. Ford once more.
Unbelievable. The two centre-halves for Kilmarnock. They've won most things, certainly in the second half anyway. Great attitude.
The seconds tick away. Wilson's cross, Vennegoor Hesselink down for Brown. And Alan Combe has to tip it over. And we're going to get a corner right at the end.
Oh, that's a great save. He's going backwards. As Brownie gets the touch. Look at that hand, strong hand on it.
Last chance surely to win the game, and if anyone can win it, Celtic can. But before the corner is taken, Jim Jeffries could be in bother here. There's actually a Killy player off getting treatment.
He looks to be in some pain as well. Not sure who it is. Is it Nish?
Looks like it. We could have done with, well, everybody to defend at the moment, Kilmarnock. But especially him. If anyone can win this game in the last seconds, Celtic can. Nakamura in, and it's going to come to Naylor! Grabs hold of it, and Kilmarnock surely grab hold of a point.
Well, this time it's not Celtic's day, I don't think. How often does that happen in this game? Ball's going across the goal and you just can't get the right contact on it, Celtic.
It's all over. Cheers for Celtic. But a magnificent display from Jim Jeffries' Kilmarnock. They lost two of their key men during the course of the game, injured, James Fowler and Gary Hay. But they certainly put in a performance to be proud of here. And I think that is Fernandez, who sadly is getting stretchered away on his return from injury. But Kilmarnock will feel that they got what they deserved today. A rare point off Celtic. In fact, they might think they might have got more. The champions frustrated on the first weekend. It finishes here. Celtic 0, Kilmarnock 0.
And that's reflected in these frustrated faces in the Celtic side. They've failed to get off to a winning start in their title defence. All the post-match reaction is coming your way.
Gordon, your team came flying out of the traps in the first half, but it didn't really happen for you in front of goal.
No, you've summed it up, so we can go home now. So you're right, get started well, getting balls into feet around the box and good movement, liked it. Second half, game we got different, but we still got loads of balls in the box and crosses, and so we had plenty of chances, but we couldn't finish. So, as you say, I think you summed it up quite well.
Did you see any potential in the combination between Donati and Brown today?
Oh, I've seen a lot of stuff there. Donati and Hartley, it was in the middle of the park. And Brown did all right, yeah, Donati did fine. I thought we were all right in the middle of the park. Kept the ball all right and good energy. Up front, getting good positions, but no scoring. And I don't think Brown had a save to make, to be honest with you, but that's expected. But fair play to Kilmarnock, thought they defended very, very well and played well.
As far as you're concerned, just goals lacking from the overall performance?
I thought you said it first, not me. Yeah, I agree with you.
I think that obviously supporters will be looking at it and they'll be thinking we've dropped points for the first time on the first day of the season for a while, but you won't be losing any sleep over that, will you, today?
No, it's not for a while, it's 2 years. We dropped points 4-4, first game of the season 2 years ago, so it was unusual for us to get one last year, so this is norm.
Thanks for your time, Gordon.
Thanks very much, thank you. Back here.
It's always a job you just love, isn't it? Into Gordon Strachan post-match. Let's look back on some of the key moments of the match. And Kilmarnock were a threat throughout. I mean, despite the fact that Gordon Strachan saying there that Mark Brown didn't have any saves to make, Kilmarnock had their moments, both second half and first. This was Alan Johnston racing through the middle. Didn't quite have the legs to get there.
No, again, I think, he's not as we some people sort of criticised him for not having great pace, but I think Mark Wilson gets back there, does ever so well. That's a great foot in the end there. So yeah, they got through, but as Gordon said, the keeper didn't have a lot to do to the Celtic goalkeeper, and Celtic should have won the game. They had enough possession to have won the game today. But sometimes you need that bit of luck. It's not all about great play and stuff. Sometimes one goes in off somebody's knee or something.
An ugly goal.
Yeah, but it just didn't happen for Celtic today. But Celtic were by far. Kilmarnock defended resolutely all game, but Celtic had enough possession to have won today. But sometimes you need a bit of luck.
Jan Vennegoor of Hesselink had a big chance early in the match, and there was this one for John Kennedy towards the tail end.